Imagine this. You're a retired librarian in the heart of a retired librarian in the heart of New York City, surrounded by millions of people, but feeling utterly alone. One day, a simple word came on. Your phone leads you to a charming stranger who seems to understand your soul. He talks of shared dreams, lost loves, and a fortune waiting to be unlocked. But what if that fortune was never his, and the only thing being unlocked was your life savings? My name is Deborah Wilson. I'm 68 years old, a lifelong New Yorker who spent 35 years among the stacks at the New York Public Library. In 2024, I lost $110,000, my entire retirement nest egg, to a romance scam that started in the most innocent way. If you're a senior like me, or you have parents or grandparents in America facing loneliness, don't scroll away. This could happen to them, or to you. Stay with me for the next 30 minutes. I'll reveal every heartbreaking detail, the red flags I missed, and how I fought back. But first, let's go back to where it all began. What would you do if loneliness knocked on your door disguised as a friend? Let's rewind to early 2024. I was living in a cozy, one-bedroom apartment on the Upper East Side, the kind you see in those Woody Allen movies, full of books but empty of life. My husband, Tom, had passed away from cancer 8 years earlier. We met in college at NYC, bonded over Shakespeare and jazz clubs. He was my everything. After he was gone, our kids now in their 40s, with families of their own in, California and Texas checked in, but they had their lives. I retired from the library in 2022, thinking I'd travel, volunteer, maybe write that memoir about forgotten NYC authors. But reality hit hard. Social Security checks barely covered rent, and days blurred into nights of PBS documentaries and chamomile tea. Nights were the loneliest. I'd stare at the ceiling, wondering, is this what retirement in America looks like? Endless quiet? Little did I know, a simple app would change everything, but not in the way I hoped. One rainy afternoon in March, I was browsing the App Store, anything to keep my mind sharp. Alzheimer's runs in my family, so I avoided those mindless scrolls on Facebook. Instead, I downloaded Words with Friends. You know, that Scrabble-like game where you play strangers online. It seemed harmless, fun, even like the word puzzles I do with library patrons. I started playing casually, forming words like serendipity and nostalgia. Then one match stood out against Edward H. 72. His moves were clever words like quixotic and ephemeral. After the game, he messaged, "Well played, Deborah. You have a poet's vocabulary. Care to chat about books?" I hesitated. Online strangers? But in a city like New York, where everyone's anonymous anyway, why not? What harm could come from talking words? Oh, if only I'd known. Edward's profile said he was 72, a widowed British historian living in Florida after retiring from Oxford. His photo showed a kind-faced silver hair, glasses, a tweed jacket like a character from a PBS masterpiece show. He wrote beautifully, "Deborah, your name reminds me of the biblical prophetess wise." And strong dot, we chatted about everything. Favorite books? He loved Dickens. I adored Toni Morrison, Travel Dreams. He spoke of wandering Rome's ancient streets. I shared my unfulfilled wish to see Paris's bookstores. He told me his wife died of cancer too. Just like Tom, the pain never fully leaves, he said, but sharing it helps. It felt real, comforting. In America, where seniors often feel invisible, here was someone who saw me. Mornings started with his messages. "Good morning from sunny Florida. What's on your reading list today?" But as weeks passed, the conversations deepened, and so did the danger. Would you spot the shift coming? By April, we were chatting hours a day. Edward shared photos from his travels, blurry but charming. He never asked for video calls, saying his old laptop's camera was broken. Soon, When I visit New York, he'd promise. He painted pictures of a future. Deborah, imagine us in Europe sipping espresso in a cafe, discussing Hemingway. I opened up about my fears outliving my savings in expensive NYC. The AARP warnings about inflation eating retirements. He sympathized. I've been fortunate with investments. One day, I'll share my secrets. It was intoxicating. At 68, I felt alive again. But buried in those dreams was a trap waiting to spring. What if the man of your dreams turned out to be a nightmare? Stay tuned. One evening in May, Edward's tone changed. Deborah, I trust you like family. I have a secret. My late uncle left me a gold inheritance worth millions, stored in a safety deposit box in Nigeria from his mining days. He explained. It was stuck due to legal hurdles, taxes, customs. I can't travel because of my heart condition, he said. But if we clear the fees, it's ours. We could fund that Europe trip. Secure your retirement? It sounded odd, but he sent documents, PDFs with official-looking stamps. In America, we hear about lotteries and inheritances all the time. Why not this? He asked for a small shipping fee. First, $2,000 in iTunes gift cards. Easier than wires, he said. I bought them at my local CVS, scratched off the codes, and sent photos. What happened next hooked me deeper, but it was all a lie. Days later, Edward messaged, it's moving. The gold is en route. He shared a tracking link that showed progress. My heart raced visions of financial freedom in pricey New York. But then, customs hold up. Need $5,000 for duty clearance. I dipped into my savings account. At Chase Bank, it felt like helping a friend. He thanked me profusely. You're my angel, Deborah. Soon, we'll be free, USS seniors. Have you ever felt that rush of hope? It's blinding, but the asks kept coming. Over June and July, the excuses piled up. Legal clearance, $12,000. Then, anti-corruption certificate, $15,000. Each time, I'd send via wire transfer or more gift cards, Walmart, Amazon. My total climbed $30,000, $50,000, $80,000. I cashed in CDs, max credit cards. Edward promised repayment tenfold. Think of our life together, retiring in style. No more worrying about Medicare gaps. In America, where healthcare costs bankrupt retirees, it was tempting. But doubt crept in, yet I pushed it away. What if this was my last chance at happiness? By August, I'd sent $110,000 total. Edward isolated me. Don't tell your kids, they'll misunderstand. I skipped family Zooms, hid statements. NYC summers felt hotter, lonelier. One more fee, $20,000 for final release. That's when the fog lifted. But how? The shocking truth is next. Sleepless, I Googled Nigerian gold inheritance scam. Forums flooded with stories like mine AAP. Warnings, FBI alerts. I reverse searched. Edward's photos, stolen from a reel. British professor's obituary. I messaged him gone. Profile deleted. $110,000 vanished. My retirement? Shattered. How could a smart librarian fall for this? I crumbled, didn't leave bed for weeks. Shame kept me silent, but I told my grandson. He helped report to FTC, FBI, NYPD. Some cards reversed, but most gone. Now loans loom. I volunteer at senior centers, warning others. America's scam epidemic hits seniors hardest. $3 billion lost yearly, per FBI. I survived barely. Scammers prey on hearts. Signs, strangers with stuck fortunes abroad. Requests for gift cards or wires, never legit. Avoidance of in-person meets. Isolation from family. Endless fees. USA folks use ARP resources, reverse search images. Never send money to online loves. You're not stupid, you're human, craving connection in a lonely world. I'm sharing from January 2026 because I'm stronger. If you're chatting with an Edward, stop now. Talk to real people. Thanks for watching. Drop a if this resonates. Subscribe to True Scam Stories for more. Stay vigilant. America, protect your heart and wallet. What story should I tell next?